And in this case, it's a pure, blatant excuse, or it's a pure, blatant allegation against Venezuela, which we are trying to, alongside other regional nations, we are trying to raise and say this is actually wrong, and Venezuela should not be tagged, or other regional organizations should not be tagged as pariah states.
This is Wilfred Iachello. He is not Venezuelan, nor has he ever been to Venezuela. Yet it is his job to defend the country as the Venezuelan delegate to the Israeli Model United Nations of 2010. Wilfred is actually a Nigerian master's student studying the development of international relations at a university in Denmark. He is one of 150 students from 35 different countries participating in the week-long Model UN conference put together by ISRAMUN and the College of Management and Academic Studies.
I was called upon to represent Venezuela and had to do my homework, do further study, listen to news, current issues, past issues, what's going on, how do we tackle it, view it as a Venezuelan and view it from an external person, to Venezuela. So both areas, create a balance for me to be able to discuss clear-headed arguments here at the level of the House.
People have been killed, resources have been lost, people have lost their houses and means of livelihood. The same thing is happening in Colombia today, and nobody has ever sent UN forces to Nigeria in this case.
At the time of the filming, the mock General Assembly was discussing a fictitious scenario where militia fighters calling themselves UAs had attacked a group of people on Colombian soil, possibly with the secret backing of Venezuela.
During the conflict, UA warriors, as well as several militia fighters and one U.S. soldiers who were killed.
So if your people had got killed, that is your own fault. You should not play with fire if you're not ready to get burned.
Thank you. Chairman,
While the scenario is not real, the delegates are supposed to respond based on the actual predispositions and alliances of the countries they are representing.
There are clear-cut lines in Latin America. Either you're with Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, or you're with the Western countries.
There's no point to continue the debate as the two feuding parties have come to an agreement.
Daniel Nisman is a government student at the Interdisciplinary College in Herzliya. He immigrated to Israel from America after finishing high school and hopes to work in Israeli diplomacy. He was happy to represent Mexico at the conference, a country he follows in the news and has visited in the past.
I would say that Mexico more or less tries to ally with America, tries not to go against America too much. Have I been keeping in character during the conference? I'm not sure. I would say I've definitely been a little bit more aggressive than Mexico usually would be.
The delegates were not allowed to represent the countries they were visiting from because organizers want them to do more research and think about world politics from a different point of view. For Wilfred Iachello, who will be starting an internship with the real United Nations in September, it is important to find diplomatic lessons at the Model UN conference, which he can bring with him to the next stage of his career.
But one of the things we've learned here is to be able to make sure that whatever your positions are as a diplomat, you follow it, you respect it, and you represent your country well. Again, you need to take feedbacks to your government so that you can both look at the issues together and find a common ground and find a solution to some of them so that there can be peace somehow at some levels of discussion. Thank you.
Benjamin Spear reporting for the Jerusalem Post.